Hello, hello, everyone. Hope you are doing amazing today. Sorry for that slight delay, and thanks for sticking it out with us as we figured out our technical difficulties. The more people you add to these things, the more technical things that can go wrong, right? Like that's just usually how it works. And I know, Kendrick, you've been doing a lot of lives in your group, and you probably experience very similar problems. So.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the good news is through all of COVID, we've all become live streaming video experts, right? I mean, we've kind of been through it all. So thank you everyone joining today or watching this at a later date. This webinar or this presentation, we're going to dive into Rise Workshops with Howie, Kane, and Kat. And we're going to talk about what they're doing, why they're doing it, what you can expect, all that good stuff. So I'm going to do some fun interviews and we'll kick off that conversation. In the meantime, why don't you guys tell us that you're viewing now, like where you're tuning in from? And then just shout out what area of the country are you in? And tell us what type of photography that you do. And then in the meantime, just some general housekeeping rules, like if we freeze up or if you can't hear somebody, if something goes wrong, there's a reconnect button at the top of your screen. You can just do that. Simple refresh usually works and get you back on track. So my first question for you guys, and I guess we can go in order and maybe you guys, I don't know if you want to draw straws on who answers this first or who's going to answer the question, but like, what's Rise all about? Let's just intro it. What is Rise? What is Rise Workshops?
Man. Howie?
Right out the gate. All right. So Rise Workshops is it's a workshop, first of all, that we've put together July 26th and 27th. The three of us came together a while back, decided that we wanted to share some of the stuff that we have, some of the photography, Photoshop, sales, knowledge that we've accumulated over the years. We think we can bring it to you guys in a unique way. And so we started brainstorming, put together Rise Workshops. Initially, we were planning on doing like an online kind of course deal. And just recently decided we were going to go workshop route. So,
yeah,
Kane.
Pass the ball to Kane.
Yeah.
You know what it stands for. What do RISE stand for? Relevant, innovative sports education. We think we have some, relevant methods and innovative things. You know, it's not all about just basically just the shooting and that type stuff. Like we bring in a different approach to, the volume game and, photographing stuff, because there's other ways outside of photography that you can basically be innovative and then allow those ways to actually just push your photography forward. And, me as a photographer, I think it's just other ways. You see me sometimes it's a video or some other type of content. And, we put our heads together, and that's the uniqueness that we're trying to bring. Like Howie said, it's just education that we've learned. So it's just what we know, and that's what we're trying to teach you, but also just the innovative ways that, we think and stuff like that.
When we all three have different styles, different backgrounds, and different strengths. And so we're trying to bring that all. I mean, we all learn from each other, and we all have over the years. And Cap, he's great with the parlay and making that money. Me, I'm more on that creative end. Kane, yeah. He's nonstop. He's hustle. So I've learned a good bit off of these two, just hanging out and putting this thing together. But we all have our different strengths, and we kind of play off each other. And Cap.
Yeah, I know you just mentioned Cap's parlay, and I remember the first time I saw Kendrick present. I think it was at Sync. Sync Sports. I think you were doing a breakout session, and you did this parlay thing, and there was just a lot of energy in the room. So what is the parlay? Like, people see it, they're like, what is that? What is that guy talking about?
I have that answer for you, but first, to answer the first question, I just didn't have anything to do, and I figured, let me hook up with these guys and get something else to do. So that's where Rise came from for me.
They parlayed you. Is that what it is?
Exactly. They suckered me into this. So the parlay, it's a craps term for any of you gamblers out there that live in areas where you have casinos, Indian casinos or otherwise. Parlay, you place a bet on a particular thing, you hit it, you made a winnings, and you don't take the winnings. You leave it out there and you hit it again, and you make more money from that initial investment. That's it. In terms of photography, the parlay is taking, it could be people, a job, a sign, your waitress, your waiter. It doesn't matter. You just have to keep your eyes open and peeled for it, and you'll see it. It'll just come to you. And when you recognize it, you take advantage of it, and you parlay that contact. It could be a friend. It could be a car dealer. It doesn't matter. And you parlay that into something else. In this case, it could be a job.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's very inspiring. And I have to say, like, did you guys all meet? Like, where'd you guys all meet up at? I mean, you're from different areas of the country. I mean, Virginia,
yes,
West
indeed.
Virginia is kind of the same thing, right? That's everyone.
Howie would say no.
Everybody thinks it's literally the same state. The further west you go, they're like, "Oh, West Virginia? You close to Virginia Beach?" No. Different state. But no, we all met initially at Sync Sports. I mean, did we have any online chats before that? No,
I don't recall. So. Howie, you were kind of ghosting me. I was stalking you.
Never.
I was stalking you, and you ghosted me. In fact, I even asked you, "Hey, you know what? Let's room up and save some money. Let's room up." And you elected to stay with that snoring guy. Remember?
Oh, well, I was probably already locked in, but
there is no lock in.
Snoring guy's probably watching this, going, "Hey, I didn't know it was snoring."
Right? Play him the recording you have of him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he knows he's snoring.
Oh my gosh.
Howie's for people watching. Howie's big on filming you if you fall asleep or you just got an awkward face and you eat, and he's just somewhere snapping pictures. So that's Howie right there. But definitely we met at Sync Sports. And I think too with Howie, mine was like, it was a flood out in West Virginia. And that's when I first got started. And I came across him and Josh Hanna and reached out to him, met him. And every year we just come back. And then it just turned into an initial conversation to meet and Cap, the rudest guy ever. And now look at us, we like bros and doing a workshop together. He's the rudest guy ever. Told me my work wasn't no good. He ain't like it. And that turned into like a big brother type thing. And then, you know, after that, it was like Cap bully Howie. And then next thing you know, we was going to like Buffalo Wild Wings together. Just, you know, we just was chilling, and it just formed like this broship, this brotherly, whatever we want to call it.
You guys kidnapped
bro
me.
Love.
I had to wear a sign that said I'm safe.
Wow. I think it's important, you know, like, this is why it's so important to go to conferences, right? It's so important to go to a conference, meet and network with people. And it's, you know, this photographic or imaging industry it's so small when you compare it to other industries out there. It's very small, and it's pretty new too. I mean, this has only been going around for like 100 years. You know, that's it. Like, I mean, compared to a lot of other huge industries. So it's, you know, it's important that we do go to conferences, we do network, we meet each other, we learn from each other, and we continue to grow together. And I love that concept of Rise, like kind of how you guys all met and kind of formed this. We need more of this. This is what is going to take us all to the next level, as you would say, rise up, right? So that's what it's all about. And I mean, I know when I met you guys, I met you each individually and then met you all together doing this. You know, you guys are all very positive, forward thinking, like people, and you have a great network, and you're really reaching out and trying to help people. And you share that knowledge, and it comes back full circle, right? All the way around. You learn things for your own individual businesses. So I wanted to kind of dive into each one of your individual businesses a bit. And I want to start with you, Kendrick. Let's start with you. So how long have you been at this? And, you know, tell us a little bit about your business.
It has been 2005. What is that? 16 years. We're in our 16th year.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We started out with action photography. Actually didn't start out as a business. It started out just me buying a camera from Costco. It was a Canon 30D with a kit lens and going to YMCA soccer and just taking photographs with it on what I called Running Man at the time, because I didn't know any settings. I knew nothing. I just knew what a good shot looked like for being an amateur photographer. People started wanting the pictures that I was taking. Where there was a demand, there was a business, and then Cat Photos was born from there.
Yeah, it's like, so it sounds so familiar, I guess, to a lot of people probably tuning in. A lot of people start that way, right? You got either the hand-me-down, I inherited it from my family, or I bought the business from somebody else, or hey, this was a hobby and I'm turning it into a business.
True.
You got all these different paths. So what's your specialty? So is it still action? Or are you doing some team and individual? Like, talk about the jobs that you're doing now.
It is both. And this was a parlay that I didn't even know was a parlay back then, because doing the action, there weren't many people doing action the way that we were. And when I say the way that we were, it's not just me out there with a camera. It was at the YMCA, but it grew from there. And we were getting more potential customers than I could cover by myself. So then I got a buddy out there to help me shoot. And then we ended up hiring some people. And currently we have 6 employees that are part-time seasonal that help us when we need them to go out there and cover the amount of volume that we have. If you've seen the posts in our Rise Facebook group, the distances that we travel in the case of trap shooting that we just did. So that's pretty much it. We parlayed the action into team and individual. As we were doing action, the teams that we were covering, they said, oh, you do team and individual too? At the time, the answer was no. But I said, yo, absolutely. Yeah, we do that. I never took a picture with lighting or anything, didn't have any risers, nothing. But I said, absolutely. What is it that you need? Well, we love your action. We love your spirit. We love your customer service. We'd like you to do our team and individual pictures. So then I went to the back. I live on 2.5 acres. Went to the backyard. I ordered some risers. I got some 5-gallon buckets, garbage cans, toys from the thrift store. And those were my subjects to practice team and individual. And then once I was confident enough that I could do it, then we actually picked up our first team. I can't remember the year, but you don't want to see those pictures.
Those then and now photos that get started in some of the groups lately, they're very inspiring. You can see how far everyone's working at your craft.
True enough.
Yeah, for sure. So is this your full-time? It wasn't your full-time gig right off the bat, right? How long did it take for you to go, full-time?
I would say probably 3 years. We were operating full-time, but I also had a job. I was a peace officer. I'm a retired peace officer now, but at the time I had a full-time, regular, good-paying state job, and Cat Photos was getting going. About our 3rd, 4th year, I started looking at the amount of money that we were making. I was comparing it to what I was making at my job as a parole agent. And, it was getting on par and I enjoyed it more. So at one point, I can't remember the year, I think I was about 43 years old, and we had been in business probably, I don't even know how many years, but we were in business for at least 8 years or so. And I actually left the job. I left my $100,000 a year plus job to do Cat Photos full time. I was ready to leave for good. And they threw me a safety blanket and they allowed me to take a leave of absence. And then I did a complete year off. We hit our numbers. Then I wanted another year. They said, that's no longer an option. You got to come back or quit. Then it got into the medical and all this other kind of stuff. So I went back and did both. For that last 8 years, I worked full time and I did Cat Photos full time. And I slept 3 to 4 hours a night for 8 years. And now I got it all.
Oh my gosh. And how do you still look so fresh?
Thank you so much for that. Well, thank you, Kane. That one was for Kane.
Well, at first I was going to say maybe that explains the hair loss, but hey.
No, I'm 53 years old. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I do 50 push-ups a day, and I walk around my yard. That's what I do. And carry around those big cameras.
There you go. And lift all that equipment. That helps.
Right.
Just 50 gets you that.
That's it.
Jeez.
That's all that's necessary.
All right.
Man.
We got to start tomorrow, guys. Everyone listening to this call, we're all doing 50 push-ups a day until this Rise event, and we'll see how big our muscles are.
There you go. There you go. But thank you for that, Lisa.
Mm-mm.
I know I
Yeah.
would not be looking like that if I only slept
Look
4
at him.
hours a
He's
day.
still blushing. Look at him, still blushing over there.
I
Look
think
at him.
he's blushing.
Oh,
You gotta
shit.
put his picture up until he finished.
Oh my gosh, Kane, I'm moving on to you next. I'm coming. No, don't do this again. Don't do this again. So funny. I'll just mention, because Rise is a startup, right? PhotoDay was a startup
indeed.
4 years ago when I met John for the first time, and Rise is kind of in that same seat that we were. Very, it's a new, unique, different idea. There's a lot of similarities to what else exists out there, but you're trying to really separate yourself from the rest of the people out there. When I first heard of this Rise thing, and you guys were telling me what your vision was and what it's all about, I got really excited because I saw a lot of that same passion that we had as a team at PhotoDay in the very, very beginning. And everyone's got really great ideas, but it's all about the execution of those ideas, right? So,
Right.
You guys have been able to execute things so far. And I can't wait to see what this first event has in store. So let's get to know Kane a little bit more. With that said, Kane is frozen. His face is really big on the screen. Kane, are you there?
So we're going to Howie.
All right,
Pivot.
Let's go to Howie. See Kane's face. At least it's a nice
He's probably
face.
driving to a new location right now.
He just left us. So he'll come
I
back
gotta
soon.
screenshot this.
All right, Howie, what is your story? Tell me a little bit about your business. When did you start?
Man, I can't believe that I'm the one that's been in the business longest.
Right.
See. 2000. Well, I don't know. Kind of as soon as I got out of high school, which would have been 99, I started off freelancing for the local newspaper, and that ended up parlaying into a full-time job at the newspaper. And then as I was working at the newspaper, kind of like Cap was saying, started getting requests for Kane's back. Started getting requests for reprints on the pictures, and our newspaper's solution was to let people borrow the negatives, which was crazy because we may never see them again, So people would check out the negatives, go take them to, Rite Aid, CVS, somewhere like that, bring them back. And I said, guys, there's got to be a better way to do this. And, we can make money for the photo budget, whatever. And they just didn't want to take on something new. And I had pitched to them, like the Shutterfly Pro Galleries were big at that time. And so I kind of pitched that idea. They didn't want to do it. But I kept having people message me directly asking me for pictures. So I thought, I'm just going to make this a side gig and go do that myself. And just, I went from game to game to game. Like sometimes I'd hit 3 football games on a Friday night just because everything was so close. And all I did there for a long time was just go to games, post them on my website, and take orders and let, online fulfill them. And that was a great business model there for a while. And I just did that all on spec. Now Cap, he'll take signups and do everything like that, but I just did everything on spec, and it worked out really well for a while. So I went from that, kind of like Cap said, started getting asked to do some T&I. I jumped in, failed miserably at my first one, got orders mixed up and everything else. And it was bad. I had no idea what I was getting into, but you learn. I didn't go to any kind of, I didn't have any kind of mentor for that, as far as how to take a picture and make a good image. Yeah. But I didn't have any kind of mentor for how to run a successful shoot day and the back end logistics and all of that stuff. So anyhow, that's where I picked up T&I. And then for a while I drifted into shooting weddings quite a bit. Finally settled on high school seniors, youth sports, more on an individual basis. I do volume, but it's more on the lower end of the volume. I don't understand the people that go out and shoot 600 kids in a day and all that stuff. Like, man, it just seems wild to me, but I do everything myself. So, but yeah, over the last probably 10 years, predominantly high school seniors and youth sports on an individual basis, and, smaller teams smaller leagues, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So what, you turn this in, you're doing this full time right now? Yeah. And then, so what's your, what do you, I know I met you, or we met you as PhotoDay in the very beginning. We were partnering with White House, and you were at this, they flew in a bunch of studios, and you were one of the studios that they flew in. So, we didn't really understand, at that point, we didn't really understand all the different use cases of PhotoDay, right? So we didn't know, we knew we were building something for volume photography, but then, there's all these different little niches. There's the youth sports and the action and the school and the preschool, all these different things and the ultimate dream of PhotoDay was let's make something that it doesn't matter what type of photography you're doing. You have the same workflow, the same sales method, you can use the same software, because when you start growing, you're doing all these different types of jobs. And it's almost like before, especially on paper forms, there's a different method for everything. Right. So that was our vision. And when you came into the picture, and I know the guys met everyone there, and then you kind of abandoned PhotoDay. You never signed up. You were you knew about it before anyone else in the very beginning. And you were nowhere to be found after. I'm totally calling you out.
I'm glad you brought this up, because
it's a great topic. We want to talk about that, because we have a lot of people who sign up and they're just what is this? What's going on, or how can I implement this?
This is my toxic trait. Okay. So I am I'm not afraid to change things, and I'm not I'm definitely open to something new if I know that it's going to be better for me or whatever. But man, the process for me is always so slow. I remember in college when we were in Photoshop, and I was using the point-to-point selection tool to make my selections, because I felt like it was the best way to do it. And that's just what I knew. Right. So, and then my professor's always man, you got to learn the pen tool. And then I would just get frustrated with the pen tool because I didn't understand it. And then once I finally started doing it, I was I should have been doing this the last couple of years. Same thing with a Wacom tablet, cane. Once I finally decided to put the mouse down and stop using the trackpad for that kind of thing, I was oh my God, why have I not been doing this longer? And it seems like there are so many instances throughout my life and career where it's if I would have just listened and taken this thing up a lot sooner, my life would have been so much easier. I have made things so much more difficult on myself, and already in the limited, use that I've had on PhotoDay so far, I'm oh my gosh, this is going to be so much easier once I get the ball rolling. And just out of a couple of jobs. So trust me, you're not going to hurt me any more than I've hurt myself.
No, I think it's an important topic to bring up, because change is hard, right? It's scary. It's hard. You just don't know how it's going to affect your overall business. And when that is your primary source of income, there's a lot of risk when you're switching, the complete sales and marketing model. It's not just a solution. It's not just a shopping cart. It's an entirely different way to market and sell your business, right? Your services that you're providing. So it's scary. And I think once people start realizing that, and we have more of these kinds of talks, there's a lot more, you get a lot more comfortable, because people have been through or have felt the same way as you. So I do think that those are important things to talk about, even though they're hard to talk about. So thanks.
Not for me. I'll admit my shortcomings any day.
So speaking of change, Kane, I remember meeting Kane for the first time. Kane, you were at Sync Sports, and we were actually there. It was John and we were there that year, and I think it was 2017. This is literally 6 months after I met John. We didn't tell anybody about our covert project we were working on, and we were there for recon. We were just there to talk to people, meet people, figure out what pain points were. If this idea that we are about to build is actually going to be worth something and change people's lives. And I remember that's where you were at. I sent you a video the other day, you guys playing basketball on the courts. That was a pretty cool place. You might have to unmute yourself too, because I muted you earlier. So hit your unmute button. So
I have to mute him
Am
all
I
the
good
time.
now?
Get used to it.
yeah, you're good now. You're totally good
Okay.
now. Yeah.
It's okay.
But you, in the very beginning, talk a little bit about your business, how you started. What's your story?
Basically for us, I was doing music videos with my wife, Lauren. Really, she was doing it. I was just like the director on set to make sure we got the money and everything like that, find the artists. It was my vision initially, but she went to college for something like that and had a background in it. So when she held the camera and chopped it up, it was way better than what I could have ever done. So it was just like, I'm just sitting here, I find a talent, and then we go out and we do this. And we was working with local musicians, local rap artists, reggae artists, and it was getting the bills paid. But sometimes those rappers that talk about, you know, all the money and the stacks of money and the flashing the money, they wanted videos on Lil Way. And it was like, this ain't happening. And that's when I start YouTubing tutorials. And I think first person I came across was like a Blair Phillips. After that, I came across Howie and Josh. And that's what formed it. And I reached out, got some lessons, went to sync. And that was 2017. That was my first sync. And that was the first conference. Cap did an interview with me talking about how important it is to get to conferences, because I had just enough money to pay the tolls to get the PA from VA. And the little hoopty car we had, the little Nissan Sentra with the two-tone roof, the burgundy joint. I still see it on the streets nowadays. But I made it over there with just enough money. And like, I remember my nephew graduating, Cap like, oh, what, you gonna leave this conference to go catch him graduate? You gonna miss something? You better stay here. I'm like, all right, man, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, I sound just like that, huh?
Yeah, you definitely do. It was worse. It was worse.
You got like the Cap impersonation down to him.
Yeah, you know, I stayed at sync, had some good conversations.
That's the G-rated Cap impersonation.
Yeah, that's definitely G-rated. And basic PG-13. And basically, I stood there, made some relationships, and we changed. We went, when I went to sync in 2017, we was Kane and Lauren Photography. Then we changed it. No, before that, we was Kane Leray. We wanted to be French. We wanted to sound fancy. And yeah, we took Lauren and made it Luray. And then we went to
bougie.
Kane and Lauren Photography. And then when I got to sync, made the connections, they're like, yo, that's too long to remember. And I went home and we changed it to CL Photos. And we hit the ball running after that.
Yeah. So you booked the league or a team. Was it a team first and then a league, or right straight to a league?
I went straight to a league. I booked the league on the interstate going home. I booked the league going home. From sync. And what I learned, basically, I had to call Cap. I remember basically FaceTiming Cap, showing him the stadium outside, like, hey, the sun's over here now. Where do I set up at? Cap like, yeah, set up right there. This, that, and the third. And it was like, man, it was hot. It was real hot. Kids burning up. We was burning up. It was bad. But we got the job done just from that networking, being able to call Cap, get him out there.
Yeah, it's your support system. And I love how you brought a little bit of your experience into the marketing when I met you and you were beginning to grow your business. And I just remember the quality of the marketing videos you were putting out there. And I was just so excited. I was like, wow, he's really good at that. But I didn't know your background at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, was he just doing this? I don't know. Actually, I wanted to show everyone, because we're going to talk about the agenda for Rise here shortly. But I wanted to show them the video that you made. That you put out there on YouTube and on Facebook to book more business. And I'm going to play this video for everyone. So if we just turn our cameras off in the meantime so everyone can see it.
All right.
Get the app, get the app, yo, 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 get the app, fresh on the scene. They got what you need. All you do is photograph your team or your league. With PhotoDay, everything's a breeze. Click, click, 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Forget one pick, now we take them by the threes. No data needed, you just upload with ease. This 2020, now this ain't the 80s. Just the thought of order form sounds crazy. You should make the switch, yeah, it's about time. Order from your phone or order online. With the PhotoDay app, my business going beyond. Shout out to all the Trailblazers out there on the grind. When you get the app, yeah, this is what you're getting. PhotoDay board to your phone, that's something different. Live galleries and facial recognition. Find your kids' pictures now with the quickness. Customized click order and then they ship it. You should get the app or the phones, just forget it.
Introducing PhotoDay, a service.
I'm going to play all that part, the end part, but I thought it was totally awesome. When I first saw that video, I was like, wow, if that doesn't attract new leagues and new business, I don't know what will. It was great. High energy, positive, something to talk about. I mean, totally different picture day than what people are used to. Totally different marketing. Thought that was awesome. Yeah. So with that, let's talk about this Rise agenda. I mean, people are going to be curious. What are they going to learn at Rise? What are you guys going to present? I'm going to turn my screen share on and just share my screen so we can talk a little bit about what's coming up here. So, all right. I don't know who wants to take the lead on this, but let's walk through it.
I think we've learned
somebody that can see it.
We've learned our lesson on having me take the lead.
Oh man!
No, you got to work on that, Howie. Go ahead and go for it, Howie.
All right, let's go.
July 26th at 7 p.m. So we're gonna have so check in. That's super exciting. Can't wait for that. We're gonna learn a lot about how to write your name on a lanyard.
All right. We're gonna skip you. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay. Come on. Let's talk about this pool shoot. What's going on there? What is that? Is that Kane by the pool?
Yeah, go for it, Kane.
I hope so.
Yeah. So if you look at the Rise, riseworkshops.com, or if you check out the Facebook, you see me coming out the pool with the dreads going back. So you might get a pool shoot with me. I'm gonna turn 50 push-ups into 100, get my pool body right. And we're gonna get that shoot going on. I can't tell you what I'm wearing, can't do it on this right here, but it's gonna be special. But what we gonna do though, the 26th, everybody gonna come and we're gonna network. That's what that's about. Cause a lot of times you get those nuggets before the conference starts. You get to meet people, and especially if you're a quiet person, man, we in a volume business and you got to learn to get loud, mingle, interact, make those connections, exchange those phone numbers, business cards, and whatever else. And after that, we're going to the pool. We're going to have a pool shoot. So we're going to have some swim models. We basically going to have a guy, may have a girl down there. We're going to do something cool at the pool just for people that swim. It's something different. It's basically like a class before we even start, just to get your feet wet. Get it? Get your feet wet. Yeah. So I literally did that in that film. I didn't even know the water was so clear. I put my foot in the ladder and I come up and my foot was wet when Howie was recording that part. So come get your feet wet. Yeah. So that's just what we're going to do. We're just going to do that and have interactions like this. We're going to be shooting. Mingling, talking, getting great shots for your portfolio just to warm you up, warm that show up for the 27th.
Right.
Yeah. Then you got, go ahead.
Let me chime in a little bit on that the social hour. Kane mentioned it, but that part of a conference is so important. What we're going to do is we know we have a lot of first-time conference attendees, and we're going to teach you how to do a conference, whether it's Rise or some other conference. We're going to teach you how to do a conference during that mingling time. Part of it has to do with divide and conquer. Those of you that are coming in pairs, and I think there's 3 of you that are coming in pairs, either husband, wife, mother, daughter, and the other one is just 2 friends. You're driving there together, you're flying there together. So when you get to the conference, split up. You take Howie's class, you take Kane's class, you take Cap's class, split up, because when you guys are driving home, you can share that information. There's only one time, I think, when there's an opportunity to do a roundtable, and we'll get to that. Pick a class, and you don't want to miss anything. So divide. Don't both of you go to the same class. So that's very important.
Yeah, this is a little bit about that roundtable. I know, each one of you has a different style and a slightly different way that you do things. And I think that's where you guys collectively saw the value in putting a conference or a workshop like this on, is to really share all different kinds of approaches. And then that way your attendees, your members, they really can figure out what works best for them, their families, their businesses, right? And I think that's a really cool approach to a workshop.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah. So
this roundtable portion, everybody's going to get this information. This is not a pick which one. Everybody's going to get that roundtable. So it'll be the three of us up at the stage or however we set that part up, and we'll all be up there and we'll all go through each of these different points. So everybody will get that information. Yeah,
it's a lot of information just for one day. I mean, I think if Cap had it his way, you guys would only get 4 hours of sleep.
That's true.
between the 2 days, and the third day he'd go like 24 hours a day if he could. I don't know.
Right. That's true.
How you have that energy. But then you have these breakouts, right before lunch.
Yes, indeed.
What's going on at these breakouts?
How you want to take those?
Sure. So, all right.
Breakouts
so
for 200.
Is this for Caps out on the field? On this first one, take it to the bank with
action. Take it to the bank with action photography.
Yeah, so you're gonna do not just classroom style, but hands on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this part right here is more discussion about it, and then when we get out later on after lunch, then we'll go over the actual shooting part of it.
Awesome.
And so this goes to, with Kane, this goes to like how all of us operate different. Like Kane and I are both in small town areas, but I think Kane probably reaches out to like more toward the city and stuff like that, and works with some of the bigger organizations. He does contracts and goes in on the meetings and bids on that kind of thing, where most of my stuff is more of a handshake, year to year kind of deal. So Kane's going to go over, his strategies for securing leagues that he already has. And am I right, Kane?
Yeah, going over leagues. Yeah, going over the contracts, the leagues you already have, and the biggest thing is how to protect those leagues. You know what I mean? It's protecting those leagues is definitely a huge thing. How do you secure those leagues for the next year? When they want only 1 year or 2 years, like how do you secure them and make them keep coming back? So how you parlay them, how you get that double up.
Yeah. All right. And then Howie's going to do some image critiques.
Word. Yep. So I'm always a stickler for detail. I feel like I'm always a stickler for detail, but I'm sure someone can go through my stuff and say, you missed that, Howie, you missed that. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, we're going to go over images. I don't know where we're going to have them pre-submit, bring them printed, however we do it. And just kind of give people an idea where they can improve and the things that they're doing right. And
yeah, man, at this point, you could probably just go on Facebook pages. Everyone posts their best stuff on Facebook, right? So that's probably the easiest way to do it. You come in, you got a Facebook page or a website you want to share. That way you can dive in and look at, what, the perception of what we think our best stuff really is and how we can improve that.
And just come in with thick skin, because it's not like I'm going to break everybody down on their stuff. There's going to be stuff that you absolutely blows your mind that other people bring in. And then there's going to be stuff that, it's like, okay, I recognize this from this stage in our career. And this is what you can do I see your struggle on this one. And this is how you can make it better. So.
Right. And then we got a lunch break coming in. PhotoDay is going to sponsor lunch for all the Rise attendees.
That's right. P&J's and oodles and noodles.
Yeah, we'll need a final head count soon for the catering manager, but yeah, we'll get there. So, it will be better than PB&J, I promise. That wasn't even an option for me to pick from. They didn't have pizza either. You told me that all they had at this facility was pizza, and I was like, no, they sent me a whole menu. Like,
oh man, that's crazy.
I like pizza though.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if there's tacos on the menu, I am going to pick tacos. every
Right.
time,
Word.
hands down. So,
And a conference on a Tuesday, right? Taco Tuesday.
oh yeah, it's got to be tacos. If they don't have it, I got to tell them they got to have tacos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is, you got the education rotation. What's this coming up after lunch?
This is another one of the picket. So they're going to picket a place to start. So we'll split up the group, however many attendees there are. We're going to split them up into thirds, and they're all going to start at one station. Everybody's going to get part of this. We're going to rotate. So I think it is 45 minutes. I forget the timing on it. I think it's 40 minutes or so at each
40
station.
minutes. Yep, there you go.
40 minutes at each station, and then it's kind of like a football drill for those of you that know sports. And then they blow the whistle and you rotate. You go from Howie to Cap, Cap to Kane, Kane to Howie, and then you get that 40 minutes. Boom, blow the whistle. We move around, and everybody's going to get this content. So you don't have to pick in this case.
And can you let your attendees know in advance, or possible attendees, are you going to make them drop and give you 20 in between each whistle below?
You know,
That's what it sounds like to me.
We may, if they're shooting overexposed or underexposed and they drop the ball, that there's a penalty for that. There's a penalty for that. It's a penalty box. There's no way you should have been shooting like that. How come you didn't know you were shooting at 10,000 ISO in the daytime? You should know that. Come on. 10,000 ISO in the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Kane's losing it. We're losing Kane.
Oh my God. This cat. Oh man.
Cap gonna cap.
Yeah. We're gonna tackle them, and hopefully they get the rise up. That's gonna be the penalty and stuff. All right, let's go to the next thing.
This is what I was most excited about. The three of you putting on a workshop has got to be fun. You're going to have so much fun at this thing. Like, how can you not? Especially if Cap's making people do push-ups. Like, I don't even know. So speaking of, let's talk about...
too big on that one.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we move on, like on that, I was trying to look. I'm extra blind. But it was like with that rotation, you get three different... you get the three of us, but three different styles of how we do things. And I think, that's important because everybody may not be a green screen shooter. So you may have a person that's shooting on white, or white. You may have a person that's shooting like outdoors with their teams and like, deal with risers and stuff like that. And it's just like rotating. It just gives you a nice variety. Stuff like that, and then at the end we'll have a questionnaire. Nah, I'm just playing, but you could say Kane is the best. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, there will be a survey, and you will rate your educator. Is that right?
Yeah, we got a side bet on that.
Okay. Push-ups after
competition.
Push-ups for the least person.
Well, that's really a lot of information in the morning for everyone to soak in. So you kind of have this afternoon break where everyone gets to kind of shut their brain off for a little bit and chill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody but Cap. Everybody but Cap. I'm working.
There is no turning Cap off. Like he's always on. So yeah,
that's a fact. So in that time, scroll back up, Lisa, for a minute to the horsing around.
Yeah.
In that time,
Lisa.
Yeah, those that choose to participate in the horse and win a prize, et cetera, you go ahead and do that. Those that want to continue to get educated, bring your cameras because I'm going to be shooting high ISO action of these folks playing horse. So that's part of your training as well. You can pick and choose. You can do or not do.
And I need to put this out here too right now for anybody. Like, we playing horse, but if it gets serious enough, me and Howie versus whoever. We doing a 2-on-2. Me and Howie versus whoever. We could do a 2-on-3 if that's the case. You know what I mean? Me and Howie versus the attendees. Yeah. That's right. Say something, Howie.
Yeah, I'm just a short guy, but I can play some good defense.
That's right. We taking y'all back to a movie in the 90s that was very popular. Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. White
God.
Man Can't Jump. That's what we off of. Me and Howie versus the attendees.
Oh my God.
And we will dress appropriately.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Cap's holding the camera, so we're gonna get.
And I'll be capturing it all.
I'll wear a fanny pack.
Okay, I gotta get one of them old hats. Cap, you got one?
You better. Yeah, now that I know you just thought of this now, so if you don't do this, I will personally be disappointed. So you're gonna wardrobe change.
I'll be looking for my fit.
All right, and then you guys are gonna share some information about tools like gear, software, all those things that you guys use. What's in your secret sauce? How do you make this happen?
Cap's a tool. We'll share some info about him.
Right. I am a tool at times.
And we gotta get back. At least take control.
What? Wait.
We gotta get back before we start getting out of hand. You know how us Rise people get. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, that's what's so great about you guys. So. All right, then everyone goes to dinner. Everyone finds a place, or you're gonna have some suggestions for dinner on the schedule here, so we can all meet up and have dinner together. Take another mental break, and then jump into some more breakouts. It looks like.
Right.
What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Howie, you cover your part. We'll each cover our part. Howie.
Yep. So on mine, we're going to go over some Photoshop techniques for compositing. And, in my opinion, it's a high impact, but I don't want to say low effort. It's like a medium effort, but like it's pretty streamlined how you can make a pretty believable, impressive looking composite that doesn't take a whole lot of work and do it efficiently and manually. That's my method. I know these guys do composites different ways using automated softwares and things like that. And I do all mine manual, but I still do it pretty quickly and efficiently given that. So we're going to go over some of those techniques and blending and shadows, lighting effects for believability, that kind of thing.
So it's very, very important. We see a lot of at PhotoDay. We see a lot of composite work come through, and there's really good stuff. There's okay stuff, and then there's what just happened, like, and then, and it's honestly, it's something that we all do. When we all started out, like, everyone makes those mistakes, right? Everyone starts somewhere. You got to learn. And that's what this is all about, like learning from everyone who has learned from that already, right? That experience, who's already went through that. So it's just a shortcut to get you where you need to be much faster. And then you got demos here.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to have like a whole team. I'm going to bring a whole team. And I'm going to just show you our process on how we shoot, how we run through each kid quick, efficiently, just normal day with me, a little goofiness and all that type stuff. And how we just able to be like, boom, 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 done, boom, 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 done. And yeah, all that type stuff. Might even throw in a little extra, like how we able to just take that. Because I know if it's tournament times, we could just take a team, and we've done it where we shot them. And before they even got to the layup line, we already had stuff like edited for them and it's up to go, just that quick, So just want to show you guys how we move, like how we could shoot with speed, but also have consistency, that each image that come through that camera is ready to go. It's just popping in, extract it, PhotoDay it, we good to go.
There you go. And then we go to my section. Get out of here, Cap. Kane and I actually will be in the same location for this portion. This is the last opportunity to get you folks on the camera. And if we didn't mention that, this is not just us setting up a lighting scenario, having some models and taking some shots. We're going to set it up, demonstrate, what we're looking for, why we set it up this way, why did we put them at this distance, all those types of things, and get the shot. Then we're going to break it down, at least take the lights off of the stand and maybe change the setting on them or something. And then the attendees are going to put it back together and take those shots. And we'll be right there to guide you and assist you with that. The importance of that is you're going to leave this conference not only with some good images, but they're actually your images. If you set the lights up, if you set the distance, et cetera, those are really your shots. If we set it up and you take those shots and you put them on your website for sale or that you can do this, and then you get on a job and you can't do it because you don't remember, you don't know, that's going to be a problem. So that is a big difference between what we're doing in this educational conference versus other conferences that we've attended. You're not shooting somebody else's lighting setup, you're shooting your own. For myself in this process, we're in the same gym. We'll be at different areas of the gym. I'm going to show you how to shoot natural in that gym as it is, with the hoop in the background or the volleyball net in the background, etc. Set it up for that. Also, to be able to shoot, how are you going to shoot it for extracting the image natural, and how are you going to shoot it if you want it to be as is? I'll show you those differences, and you'll shoot those and get the idea, and you'll understand why we can do it that way.
That's awesome. I have to ask you a question, Cap.
Sure.
I mean, with the push-ups and the, breaking it down and putting it back together, do you have like a military background by chance?
My whole family was military, and I intended to go to the Air Force out of high school. I graduated at 17. I intended to go, and I got a phone. This is a quick little story. I was sleeping in the backyard. I just had a camp out in the backyard in a tent, and my dad Saturday morning came out and said, Ken, and only my family calls me Ken. My name's Kendrick, but I go by Cap in the photography world. Ken, come here. You got somebody on the phone. It's the coach from University of Pacific. He wants you to come play for him. Stop playing, Dad. Stop playing. I played football. So I go in there, and the coach is like, yeah, we've been tracking your career in high school, blah, blah, blah. We want you to come down and take a trip. I said, all right, cool. I'll do that. Where's it at? It's in Stockton. Okay, I'll be there. No. We'll come and get you. No, I'll drive. It'll be fine. And that's it. Got a scholarship, played football at University of Pacific. But that military, my father, my uncles, my brothers, everybody, and I had intended to go. And I did go into the Navy Reserves when I was about 35 for about a year and a half, and I realized they were wasting my time. So I did.
I see what you tried to do, though. You tried to say you graduated at 17, show how smart you was. I seen that little plug. You seen that, Howie?
It's true. You want to hear more? How about
no, we over. No more.
I graduated at 17. I played college football. No big deal.
How about this? 4 years of perfect attendance. Never missed a day of high school. How about that one?
Whoa.
That's never missed a day.
Show
us your plaque.
I got it.
You understand what we're dealing with?
Well, I just posted the link for everyone to grab if they're interested in attending or going over to your site to view the agenda and find out some more information on lodging and things like that. But I think most importantly, as we near almost an hour here, I wanted to chat with you guys. What are the, maybe one, you guys can each take one, but what are the key takeaways that you want people who attend Rise and become a Rise member? What do you really want them to take away from this? I know that's a hard question. I totally put you on the spot, but
one thing that I'll say is that we're not, well, Cap might, I don't know, but overall, we're not going to tell you this is the way to do it. We're going to say these are ways you can do it. And, a lot of times you hear it, just got to do what works best for your business and how you operate things. But I think actually getting 3 different versions of it will be helpful for that. So we're not going to tell you this is exactly how you do it. We're going to give you the options and let you decide for yourself. And it might be a mix of all 3 methods that we use that you find the magic formula for how you want to operate your business. So that's my first little nugget.
I'm gonna go just in case my phone die out or something. First time it overheated. iPhone too hot. I think walking away with confidence and a feeling of like you belong. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you part of this Roz family now. Like, we just ain't gonna leave you hanging after this. We're gonna follow up, we're gonna check up, we're gonna do some things, but let you know, like, we here for you. You know what I mean? We better if we all rise together. So like coming here, it's gonna be that feeling like, yo, I belong here. Where has this been my whole life? You know what I mean? Right. So it's like that feeling, and you get that feeling other places, but that's what we want, and that's what we putting out there. We just want people to walk away confident with the skills that they picked up or the nuggets that they picked up, because some people already have skills and we can learn something from them by chatting and networking. You never stop learning, but just that confidence to be like, yo, this was a great experience. I'm ready to go crush it if it's something that you picked up there. And, of course, executing on a PD platform a little better with some of these techniques that you're going to get. Hey!
Awesome. What
Awesome.
about you?
I'll go. Kane, you're going to remember when we talked about this. You tell us your why, and we'll show you how. That's it.
That was deep.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Why are you in this business? Why are you doing sports photography? Why are you doing volume? Do you just want to get a couple of extra $100 a week to help out with your kids' private school? Are you trying to leave your career and start something different and support your family? Everybody has different motivations. Are you an artist and you just want people to like your work and the money doesn't matter because you have plenty of money? There's all these different categories of folks. You tell us your why and we'll show you how. With Rise, we are so different than every other group out there. Who reaches out to members and sends them private messages? Hey, you've been in the group for a few weeks, haven't seen you post anything, post something up. You'll get the most value out of that. And just that message from an administrator in a group that they care about you and they don't want you just to be here. We want you to get some value out of this. And if you're not getting value out of this, go to another group. Stay here if you want the value. We're going to help you out with that value. Speaking of value, go to riseworkshops.com and look at our mission statement and values. And anytime the three of us have a disagreement about something, we go back to that mission statement and values and say, how are we going to resolve this as it relates to our mission statement and values? And we believe in that. One of the big ones is transparency. If you haven't seen transparency in us, I don't know what to tell you. I've told you what I was going to do. I did it. And then I came on and told you about it. Good or bad. It could have been a good experience. It could have been a bad experience. Fortunately, so far, they've all been good experiences, but it could be that I tell you I'm going to do something. I go to do it and it doesn't work out. We'll talk about that too. It's all about the fact that I'm not afraid to hear no from somebody. If you're not afraid to hear no, there's nothing that can stop you. So we want to get you out of that corner and bring you into the fold. Speaking of the corner, going back to the get together, the Monday night. If I see somebody over in the corner not mingling, you're not going to be there long because I'm going to be right there next to you, grabbing your hand, bringing you over and introducing you to people because that's part of this.
But don't make them do push-ups. You might lose.
No. Don't push it. Just come over and say hello to somebody. Just that bit of helping somebody to get off the wall and come and talk to people could be enough to take their business to the next level. Just helping them with that bit. So that's me.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need the most when you're at one of these conferences for the first time, one of these workshops, nobody's talking to you. And that's what you guys are not going to let happen. And I love that.
It's not going to happen.
I love that. Yeah. Well, did you guys did you want to share some of the things you sent me earlier to talk about today, or do you want to save that for later?
Kane, you want to go or you want me to go?
That's the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
The thing. Yeah, just making sure.
If I'm gonna do it, let me grab my paper real quick. Hold on 1 second.
All right. So this is the part when you watching. I be watching these things. They get me all the time now. Mid-30s is getting me all the time. Like, hey, the Ninja Foodie Grill. Order now. And not only do you get one rack, you get two. And by the way, we're gonna throw in an extra fork and a hot glove for the price of $99.99. So this is that part right here, right? That thing. All right. So Kendrick Brown is now going to tell you what you get for attending Rise.
Here you go. First, I want to acknowledge the folks who have already signed up with Rise, and we already have registered paid attendees that are going to be there. Several of them are here on this call right now, so they're hearing it for the first time too. We were going to hold this until after the conference and then just spring it on you as an additional bonus, but we're going to go ahead and give it to you right now and let you know what we have in store. We have Rise, which is our group that we started this whole thing with as far as our Facebook group. We are developing Rise Elite. Rise Elite is for people who understand the value of what it is that we're offering, and they've made an investment in themselves and in Rise because it costs a little bit of money to get this education. We've given so much already for free, for nothing, just for joining the group and having a web page. That's all was required to come in, and we've given so much. So of course, we do want to get some things back, but we continue to give as well. So we're going to be introducing Rise Elite. It will launch, it'll be a private Facebook group, and it will be for a subscription base. We haven't described this subscription amount, but these are the things that you can expect in Rise Elite. And one monthly Zoom with Rise. It'll be one of us, all three of us, two of us, but it'll be one monthly Zoom, and it'll be an hour long where you can participate in that Zoom, ask questions. We could do website reviews, whatever. It's not really a formal thing. It's just a time for us to get together and ask questions and a follow-up. That will also include, after the attendance of this event, like 2 weeks or so after this event. This is something where people fall off. You go to an event, you're all jacked up, you have all these notes, everything is all good, and then you get home, you kiss your honey, you feed the dog, and you forget about everything. All your motivation just goes away when you get back home because you're no longer in that environment. We're going to keep you in that environment by doing a checkup. So a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or so after the thing, everybody who attended and at that point would be in Rise Elite. We're going to do a follow-up to the conference. What is it that you are having struggles with? What is it that you learned that you forgot a few things? And we're going to catch you up and get you up to speed, because the goal is that we all rise together. So for anybody who signs up within the next, we're 39 days away right now when we get to that 30-day point. So 9 days from now, between now and 9 days from now, you're going to get a free 1 month membership to that Rise Elite. And we don't even know what the cost of it is going to be at this point, but regardless, you're going to be admitted into that group for 1 month for free.
I love that. Included, you guys are the accountability buddies. It's like hiring a personal trainer for your business. That's what this is.
We need that.
Again, we're going back to the gym again. Push-ups. Like everything there you go. Back to this.
There you go. No, nobody gets left behind. That we all rise together. We say it all the time, but it's not just a saying. We believe that, and we don't want to leave anybody behind. So you got the free monthly attendance, not only for the folks that are going to sign up during this 9 days, but also the people who have already registered. This is for you too. You're going to get this 1 month free membership. In this thing, you're also going to get a free template of the month. Howie and Kane do templates. They're going to do a template each month. They'll alternate. I don't know how they're going to do that, but that'll be available for free for you to have that template. You're going to have stock photo access. If you saw some of the posts, actually, I don't know if you posted them, maybe on IG. Howie's really good at taking stock photos of nice fields that you saw him traveling, his last recent travel, but taking stock photos of fields, grass, skies, etc., different things that you can use in your composites. So you're going to have access to those. Business reviews. So you'll get on and you'll just say, hey, I'm having a trouble with my business with this. We'll log on, look at your website, see if there's anything that we can give you as far as a tip to assist you with your business. Maybe it's customer service, just business reviews in general. Extended behind the scenes. You've seen on our Rise Facebook page, we've done some behind the scenes. You saw me at the trap, this and that. You've seen kind of like an introduction to what we do, etc. But when you get to Rise Elite, we're going to take you to the next level. It's like, here you see it, but we don't really tell you everything that is involved in that. So just seeing it isn't enough for you to really get it and be able to apply what it is that you see. But in Rise Elite, we're going to take that same video that we did live in regular Rise, put it in Rise Elite, and we're going to dig in. We're going to pause that video. Okay, right here, I want to point something out to you that we didn't talk about on the Rise. That's a benefit of Rise Elite. You get that additional information. Exclusive interviews with industry leaders. Last night, we did a live interview with an executive and an engineer from Backblaze.com. Backblaze.com is an online storage cloud solution that we all should be interested in. I was surprised there was only 8 people on that live when every single one of us needs that product or needs something similar to that product. 2 of the folks that were on there, we actually gave them t-shirts that were, where are they at? Oh, I already put them away. We got Backblaze t-shirts from Backblaze about a month ago. So we gave away the 2 that were really involved in the conversation. We gave them t-shirts. We'll be mailing those out to them. So those exclusive interviews, that one happened in regular Rise. In the future, I'll just mention, hey, check out Backblaze.com in regular Rise. But then in Rise Elite, that's where we're going to have that interview where you're going to have that exclusive access to people in the industry. We've done Don Ward. We did, who else did we do? Don Ward, who's help me out, guys.
Trailblazer, Kane, Sampson.
Trailblazer, Kane.
Damon Bell. Damon with Pixnub. We did Damon with Pixnub. Just go back and look and see who we've had in there. We've had some big
Howie
folks
McCormick.
in the industry on there. Exactly, Howie McCormick. The other thing, the final thing that we have on this note right here is we have acquired discount codes for Rise members. We got Damon Bell to allow people into his PickSnub group when his group was closed. If you were a Rise member, he allowed you in. All you had to do was send him a private message. So that was a benefit of being just a Rise member in general. We got Don Ward came on. He gave a 25% off discount to Rise members. That would be a thing where it'd be like 10% off for regular Rise and 25% off for Rise Elite folks. So those are the types of things that
you had spider holsters too, right?
Yep, had spider holster as well. We had, was it 20, I don't know if it was 20 or 25% off of spider holster items. So all of those things come from the power of having a good active group. That's why we're so involved with getting people to not just like a thing, because everybody's liking something. I don't want to say what I want to say, but I don't care about a like. I care about a comment.
Cut them off, Lisa. Let's go to the next.
no. It's this. And it's the truth. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. A like is like, right. A like is like getting a text. A text is cool when it's necessary, but if I can talk to you, I'd much rather talk to you. That's the comment. I'd rather have you make a comment on somebody's thing. So we haven't determined the monthly cost on that, but everybody who signs up within the next 9 days, you are going to get 30 days free in the Rise Elite. And everybody who is already registered and paid, and some of you I see here in the chat, you're also going to get that. So that's our special offer.
It's amazing. It's a lot of work. You're putting a lot of work into this, a lot of thought, a lot of heart going into it, making this beneficial for everyone who becomes a Rise member. And I think that's really great. And it's an all the time 24/7 thing. It's not a once a year workshop. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty committed to this. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And this is only the beginning. You haven't even done the workshop yet. So this is only the beginning. So it's awesome. I can't wait to see it grow. And I thank you guys for your time today and coming on and explaining what this all is about. Like, we've getting lots of questions and what's this? Who are these guys? What are they all about? So I thought it was a great way to like kind of showcase who you are and bring the fun and show everybody what I've seen in the three of you and putting this together. So it's been really great. And we've got some thank yous here in the comments. So thanks, guys. Are you wiping a tear, Kane? Are you?
No.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, yeah. So offers up. Go to riseworkshops.com to register, and we'll have a replay of this up in case you've missed it by tomorrow. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much for having us, Lisa.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Rise out.